Hello everyone, this is Board Games of Bourbon. I'm Glenn Flaherty, and right now I'm going to tell you all about Furnace. This game is coming to you from Hobby World and the designer of Smartphone Inc., a very highly regarded game if you want to look that one up. This plays 2 to 4 players. It runs about 45 minutes in all the games I've been playing, and it is essentially an engine builder. You can kind of imagine San Juan with a really unique auction element that I have not seen anywhere before. Now, the thrust of the game is that you are industrial capitalists, and I believe this is in the the Russian Empire, because I believe this is the symbol of the Romanovs. And what you are doing is you are going to have starting resources and powers, personal personas that break the rules of the game, and then you're going to use these tiles over here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you're going to bid on these cards. And what makes it really interesting is when you bid, any card you bid on and you have the highest bid, you get and you have the power of that card. However, if you bid on a card and you did not win it, you get resources from the card in terms of compensation. So let's take a look at a card and see what it talks about. Let's try to find an interesting one here. We'll go over here. So take a look at this card. Okay, now on this card, it shows us 3 different things. If I bid on this card and I lose, I get the compensation of what is at the top. In this case, it says you can convert your iron into a wrench. And the wrench, of course, helps you upgrade cards. Down here, if I own the card, I won the auction and I take it. It gives me the ability to trade in oil for 4 money. And ultimately, at the end of the game, you want to have the most money. Then you can see the card has a whited out section here, okay? And that is 3 coal. I will have access to that if I upgrade this card, which flips it over, and then I have not only the original power of oil gives me 4 money, now every time I turn on the card, I activate it, I'm going to get 3 coal as well. Okay, and depending on your player count, you put them out. In this case, for a 2-player game, is going to be 6. Then you have your starting powers. So let's take a look at the powers here. This card says that this person is going to start with a wrench. So I'm going to take 1 wrench. And then when I turn on the card, it's going to say I get 1 more wrench. I may trade in a coal and an iron once per round for 4 money. And then it says I may turn in a wrench and a coal infinitely to upgrade my cards. Pretty cool. By the way, look at this handy dandy little thing over here for tracking your rounds. It's a little mechanical. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's really cute. Okay, the other person, they have a card that says they are going to start with 2 coal. I'm calling it coal. I think that's the official name. And then down here it says each round I'm going to get a wrench, then the ability to trade in 3 coal once for 4. And again, I can upgrade turning in a wrench and a coal to have 4. But there's a bevy of different abilities over there. There's a bunch of different cards. This one lets you, they're just different mixes. You can get a coal and iron, but this deals with making money from the coal. This makes money from the oil. And then that's just going to be coal, but it makes money from the iron. So they're all just a little bit different. It's going to start you in different places. Then you have your personas, and the personas in the game essentially just break the rules of the game. Most of the rules in the game are simply bidding, and the bidding has rules that says when you bid, you can only put 1 of your tokens on a card, and every token on the card has to be of a different value. So let's look at these personas to give you a clue of what happens. Here, this says during the auction phase, you may place disc without following the 2 placement rules, right? So you put 1 per card. The values are not summed up. If there is a tie, you get compensated instead of winning. That's fair. Here, this says once per your production phase, which is when you're kicking on all your cards, I can spend 2 coal to resolve a card again. That's super huge. So some of those cards really kick out points. That's awesome. Here this is if you have an additional 2, okay, so this over here is kind of like a wild. This is in the game. It's a wild token for bidding. You have the additional 2, and it's considered a disc color. Okay, so that gives, having cards is power. That's really useful. That might be the best one in there. I don't know. Here it says, whenever you get compensated, consider your disc being 1 higher. Interesting. Okay. And let's see. I think this is the last person. And this says, when upgrading cards, you may spend iron instead of the wrench, but you must have spent all your wrenches first. Okay. So they're all pretty fair. Let's just put 2 down here. Let's put down this person so that we have the 2 in the game. And then over here, we'll play her, who says I can put 2 discs on one card. Okay, now what this is going to be the first player, Mr. Romanov, and then it goes to the second player, and then the AI kicks in, who plays as the Phantom third player. I'm going to show you how the card works, kind of how to synergize all the cards, and then we'll set it for a round 2 so you can kind of see the implications. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bid, starting with player number 1. So player number 1 has a lot of wrenches, so they want to see if they can make points off of wrenches. By looking at these cards, I don't see any engine cards that really crank off of having wrenches. So that doesn't seem like a great winning combo there. So we might have to change up strategy. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a 1. We're not sure what we want. Let's just stick it over here. Now, what does this card say? Let's flip this over. This card here says if you lose this card, you're going to get 2 coal. Down here, it's going to give you 1 iron. And then coal and oil can give you 6 money twice when you activate it. That's pretty cool. So let's just stick a 1 there to get the game rolling. The red person over here has a bunch of coal. They want to see if they can start trading in coal, and they can. Over here, this card here, right away, right off the block, says if they upgrade it, they can trade in 3 coals, get 4 money. Okay, we want that card. We're going in big. 4. We want that one. Okay, so now it is a roll for the AI. And they roll in number 6. And the rules for the AI is you try to put your lowest token there first. You know, like if there's a 1, it would have had to be a 2, but there's nothing, so I can put a 1. And if it's blocked by another token, you just shift it around. Like if you already have a white on a card, you move it to a card next to it. Pretty simple. Okay, so we just went this way. Now we're going to go this way. AI always goes last. All right, so I know that I'm trying to get my engine. So now what I want is I want the opportunity to get resources. So I need resources. I need coal in order to kick that engine should I win it. So I can really go anywhere. Unfortunately, the coal here and the coal there already has a 1, so I can't put a 1. I'm going to take my chance, and I'm going to go with 2. You know what? I'm going to go with 3. I'm going to put 3 over here, because even if I don't win this coal, darn it, you know what? I really want 2. Okay, I'm going to go there. Because I was going to say, even if I didn't get my coal, I could get this engine down here that says coal and oil, gives me 6 points, but that's fine. Yellow player goes. Yellow player, again, doesn't really have anything, but they are trying to just get 2 coal resources. Now they can't go here because they can't trade it in. Maybe they're going to switch strategies and go for oils. Okay, so what they're going to do, they're going to try to win the oil engine. And right here, this card in the center says if they win this card, they get 1 iron. And if they upgrade it, they can twice trade in oil for 4 money. So they're going to try to win that one as well. All right, the AI player goes. They're going to go on to card number 2. This goes there. Okay, so we went that way. We went that way. We're going to go this way one more time. All right. Yellow player gets to go again. So they're going to try to get this oil. So now they want oil resources. All right. So what do we need here? We need oil resources. Well, this card here will give us oil. So we're going to try to win that card. We're going to put our 3 right there. Red is then going to go. This says if you upgrade it, you're going to get oil and 2 coal. Red is going to go. Again, they're working on the engine of trying to get the most coal they can. So they're going to go ahead and put a 3 over there because, again, they want to hopefully lose this and get 2. Now we did that. Now it's the AI again. They roll. It's a 1. Their number 3 goes here. Okay, so that kind of worked out. So they're going to go there. Pretty good. All right. So we went 1, we went 2, we went 3, and now it's 4. Red is going to start again. They have their number 1. Well, they can't go there or there or there because they have all of their reds, but she does have the power that says she can ignore the rule, but the numbers are not summed. What do I want here? I want more resources, so I'm going to put a 1 there because if I lose, I get my 2 coal. I still have 2 number 2s, so I can actually, get a lot of resources for myself. I'm going to get the oil. I have the ability to crank the oil and turn it into money. I have a wrench. You know what I need? I need wrenches. I need wrenches because wrenches will help me convert my cards. So maybe what I need to do is start getting compensated and get my coal, because my card says if I turn in a wrench and a coal, I can upgrade my cards. Aha, okay, so I'm going to take a 2 and put it over here. That works. The AI goes. Card number 3, they're going to put a 4 here. Okay, so that doesn't really get in the way, but I can still put this somewhere and try to get something. I'm already present on this card with my yellow, so I can't put a 2 there. I could go here, but it doesn't really help me. I don't have iron to trade in for wrenches. I don't have iron. I don't have iron. I am already there, and I'm already there. So this is kind of like a toss way. Well, it was worth the gamble. We'll just go right there just in case. Okay, that's round 1. So now what we're going to do is resolve the round. Resolving the round starts from left to right. So we go over here, and the AI player actually has the highest. So they're going to get the card. But because neither of us get the card, we get compensated. So we both are going to get our coal. That goes there. This goes here. Okay, so player 1 has 2 coal, player 2 has 4. And this goes to no one. That's basically out of the game. Going here, yellow player, who is player 1, they're going to win this card. But the second person on it is the AI. And since the AI isn't actually getting compensated, that is just going to come to me and no one gets anything. All right, that goes on my tableau there. Moving into the next card, the AI got it alone. So essentially that card is out of the game. Now we go here. Yellow again won this card. So I'm going to own that card. However, red is on it. So they're going to get compensated. They get 2 more oils. Or excuse me, 2 more coals here. I'm so used to what these cubes mean in other games. Okay. And that goes to you, however. Okay. Over here, red finally won something, but I do have my number 2 on it. So what's going to happen is red is going to get this card. I can't benefit from it because I don't have any iron to trade in. So that just kind of goes away. That 2 comes back to me. However, this goes to the red person. And then lastly over here, red again wins the card. They're not going to get the benefit. Neither will the AI. Their token comes off, but I am there. I get 2 more of the coal. So actually, not too far behind at the moment. All right, that goes to me. And this card is going to go to the red player. And now we're going to crank the engines here a bit. So let's see what we can do. So we have these 3 cards here. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crank this engine here. And the first thing on my card for the round purpose, this was my starting resource, but down here it says I get another wrench. Here it says I may trade in a wrench and an iron for 4 points. That's pretty great, but I didn't have any opportunities in those cards to get my iron. It might change my strategy later. I don't have it at the moment. Here I can trade in a wrench and a coal to upgrade cards. I'm actually going to do that. I have 2 wrenches. I'm going to trade 2 wrenches in, and I'm going to trade 2 coal in. I'm going to upgrade both of these cards. So actually, I ended up in a really good position there. So that card is tapped. So I can only activate each card once. So we have to show that that's done. Over here, doesn't really matter. Look at this, man. This is awesome. This is going to give me an iron in a second. Oh, man. If only I could go back in time. Well, it would have been too late. So this one's going to give me iron. I can use the iron that I'm going to get from this card in the future to go back over to this card that I already tapped, and I can trade in coal and iron to get 4 points. Okay, that's huge. So anyway, what can I do? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to activate this card first. This card says I get 2 coal, and it says I get an oil. All right, so I got my oil. This card is tapped. Now that's great because look, we go back here again. It says I get my iron. My iron is going to trigger that card. Oh, but the debate is what order I do this. And here it says I can trade in twice oil to get 4. So I'm going to trade in my 1 oil right now, and I'm going to get 4 money. Hey, that's pretty awesome. I didn't even see that coming. All right, so I'm up to 4. All my cards are tapped. So I'll just reset knowing that I'm going to build on this in the future. Going over here to this player here, let's see what our cards are. Okay, so we already took our starting resources, which were the 2 coal. Here again, it says I can trade in my, I can get a wrench. All right, so I'm going to take a wrench. Okay. Then it says I can trade in 3 coal, and I'll bring this a little closer so you can see it. It says I can trade in 3 coal once for 4 points. So I'm going to trade in 3 coal. Sounds good to me. And I can get 4 points. So I am essentially tied. All right, we're doing okay. Then it says I can trade in a wrench and coal to upgrade as many things. Well, I only have 1 wrench. There's only 1 thing I can upgrade there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this card. So I'm going to pay a wrench. I'm going to pay a coal. I'm going to upgrade this card because when I upgrade this card, this says I trade in 3 for 4, but it says I can do that 3 times per round. Okay, that is huge. So the card is upgraded. This card is tapped. What I'm going to do at that point is I'm going to go here. This card says, I'm going to activate the second. I get 2 coal, so I'm up to 4. Yeah. And then this isn't upgraded, but if it was, it would say I could trade in 4 iron for 2 points. Not to worry. This card, I've now tapped it, and now we go here. Let's see if we can get it off this table. Okay, it says I could trade in iron once for, oh, that could help me with the other thing, for 1 wrench. But what it also says is I can trade in 3 of my coal, doop, for 4 more points. Holy smolies. So, look at that. Wow, that's awesome. And I got 4 more. So, wow, what a turnaround. First of all, I didn't think I was in the game at all. I have 4 points, and now somehow with less cards, I have 8. So I'm actually winning. And now we're going to move into round 2 of the game. Okay, so a fourth of the game is over. So these are here. And then what happens is in a 2-player game, we put 6 more cards out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and you always put them out with the advanced side down, okay? And then the first player token moves over, and then you go ahead and just start another round. Man, that game is thrilling, exhilarating. I love this game. Anyway, that game is Furnace by Hobby World. If you have questions about how to play it, please ask. I'm happy to answer. I really enjoy this game. I'm not sure where it's being sold. They might even be trying to get it sold. This came to me directly from Russia. How cool is that? I'm so glad this little channel has found its way into the hearts around the world. Anyway, please ask me any questions you have. Leave comments. I love seeing comments. They help the channel too. Please subscribe and all that good stuff. And my friends, be well. I will talk to you soon and talk to you later. Bye.